In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you as a life insurance agent can leverage Claude, specifically Claude AI, Cowork, and Claude Code to successfully scale and grow as an agent, agency owner to hit 40, 50, 60K to grow your agency tremendously. I'm going to be breaking down some of the tactics and strategies that some of our top clients are using, what I'm currently using, what I'm seeing, and how you can do it too. So my name's Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Elite Lab. In the past 4 years, we've helped well over 700 agents issue pay $40,000 per month. And we've now scaled 4 agencies to $1 million a month. And on this channel, I try to talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors that you can go out and execute. So as always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and let's hop right in. So today is going to be one of those high-level days where I'm going to really more or less talk about why Claude and not GPT, what it can do, the features that I use, and best use case features for agents right now in 2026. All right. Okay. So first of all, let me give some quick context on like how we even got here. When I have not really been leveraging AI all like that, just to be transparent with you. A lot of what I do is just kind of like meat and potatoes, raw, just grind. I talk a lot about like sales on this channel, intros, a lot about framing and the demographic, psychological like behaviors of the people that you're marketing to, and like how you as an agent or agency owner can scale and like create infrastructure through leads. That's my whole entire platform. But I brought in my not even a former, like a mentor, big brother, and a really good friend, best friend, all in one. And I had 2 gentlemen on my team tell me about Claude. They were like, yo, my guy Mac, my guy Santi, they were like, bro, you got to use Claude. You got to use Claude. And I'm like, bro, let's just keep grinding. Like, we got to do what we got to do. Like, it don't matter. AI is not, like, it's going to help us, but like, how? So they were talking about this thing called Claude. And like, I went to Dante, who's watching my content. I went to his office and he had like this MacBook Mini up. And I was like, dude, what is all this? Like, you know what I mean? And I've heard people talk about it, but I'm the type of person, like, if I get into something, I have to get into it. So my mind was like, all right, I'm not ready to dive into that. I'm trying to get to $1 million. I'm trying to get to $1 million. I'm trying to get to $1 million a month. So in my mind, it's like sales, keep doing what's working, double down, better and more, really more and better, more and better, more and better, like oscillating between the two. And obviously for those that don't know, that just Alex Hormozi talks about, more, better, new, more, better, new. My thought process was like, I got to focus on more and focus on better. That's where I'm at right now. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, this is where I'm at. And I bring in my COO, K2, in May of this year. And he's coming in, he's kind of getting a lay of the land, just kind of fading in the background. And obviously that's operations, right? Chief Operations Officer. So I'm like, all right, cool. He's doing this thing. And then he was like, man, I'm going to build an AI bot, like an AI agent. And I was like, okay. And at first I was like, all right, like this is cool. But then I started seeing what it could do. And he was like building stuff so fast, like built a whole backend infrastructure, created all the tracking, which we were doing manually, and like bought back so much time for like a ton of my day one staff that's been like straining. And then I'm just like, now I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So then I got on and I was like, man, let me try this. So I was using Claude as a interface and I was treating it like GPT. So there's obviously like Claude and GPT, you can log in, you go to the website, claude.com, right? But then you can get it on your laptop and there's way more features. It works a lot better. But I was like, you would go on my computer, or if I do it on my phone, like the interface was always better on my phone. And my responses were always better. And it was because I think it was an inherent app for whatever benefits that has. So anyways, I'm using it. And I'm like, dude, this is way different than GPT. Like they feel different too. But the thing that feels different is like you can create through Cowork and then Claude Code, you can actually create a whole infrastructures for your business. Now, an everyday user, I don't really think it really matters. I mean, yeah, you probably get better responses and like you can have it build some basic stuff. It's just like, but like for somebody that's running a business, you can literally build these agents using Claude Code that can like just operate fully functional without you and just work. And like you can code things. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm watching this in real time. And the reason why I started off with the thing was this is the difference between ChatGPT and Claude. Now, granted, as of I think yesterday or last week, GPT just came out with, I think it's called Codex, if I'm not mistaken. So they're making their own code thing. So it doesn't really matter. The philosophy here is just like leveraging AI coding softwares, right? Versus just like traditional ChatGPT or like traditional chat models. You're just asking questions and getting responses. But when you really start to get to the business-minded, like life insurance agent or agency owner, you can create a lot of things. Now, the revelation happened. One of my guys, Cole, He's absolute savage. He's on the page. He's crushing it. We were at dinner the other day, and he's like, bro, I used Claude and I coded like this whole KPI tracker with like all my numbers and like pulls from my bank account. It like shows me every day like what I got, etc. And I was like, dude, I need to really just sit down and dial this in, because with what I know about business and like what I can create and the leverage, the things that have always been in my mind, I've always tried to hire people for it. But now I have like AI that can do it, and I'm like, these agents, like I've always heard about AI agents, and it's been like 6 months that I've heard about it, but I'm like, man, I don't really know how to do it. So I was like, then my COO K2 was just like, bro, he was like, dude, just prompt it and just start talking to it, bro. So I started talking to it, and I noticed, I was like, yo, this thing can really do anything. It's just how it gets it done. And it always gives you options, and and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. So when I say what it can do, I want to go into like the thought process behind it. So essentially, when you're coding, this is what I didn't understand. When you're coding, you are like code. I don't know how to explain it. Like coding, the way I frame it, this could be so wrong, but this is what I'm realizing for my small use case. This is like 1 week, and I'll probably give you a better update in a few months. It's literally like nothing's impossible because you are actually the one creating the thing. Most of the times we use interfaces, we use softwares because we have to actually use them. Like it's only what's available. Coding creates that thing. So like making a website is like, okay, it's like, but like, how do you make a website the way you would want it to be made? Like even as I'm sitting here now, I just thought about something. I can go to a website and send them a website and say, I want my style to look like this. And actually now I'm going to pause this because I want to do that. Cool. So I just did that. But my thought process is like, I could go find something that I want and I can ask it to replicate this, and it will literally replicate it. I've seen people creating CRMs, creating softwares, creating quoting tools. Like you have to think about what problems you want to solve as an agent for yourself. What are things that I want to solve? What are things I do? Like start with simple things, because what I'm realizing is you just have to start using it. If you try to overcomplicate it and get intimidated by it like I did, you won't start. You just have to start. So you have to start with something simple. Like the first thing I built was how can I automate sending a text message? Because I want to send text messages from my iPhone because I like the delivery, but I don't want to use SendBlue. So I easily was just like, yo, how do I set this up? And then I built it. And then as long as my computer's on, which is the only time I would text, then it can do it. Now I could have bought a software that could run in the background, etc. But I'm not that pressed on it. As long as my laptop is up, I'm able to send that message. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So but it's sending from my iPhone. I don't have to use SendBlue. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so what else so then my mind opened, it's like, oh, what else can it send from my iPhone? So then I set up another thing that said, whenever you're done with tasks, you're going to send me a text. So that for the past 2 days, that's all I've been doing. It's just like on Claude Code, trying to build a backend software for our clients. And I was just sitting there like waiting and having to click over. And then I'm like, and I only use one screen for those. I just use a laptop. I don't have like all the screens. I probably will get to that eventually. And that's probably another thing I'm missing out on. But I just like what I like, and it works for me. So I try not to change it too much. So like when I'm working, because I like to focus on one task at a time, I'm able to get a lot more done. If I have too many screens up, it's going to overwhelm me. You know what I mean? So what I did was like when I'm working, the only thing that I don't like anything below my screen. So as you can see on my screen right now, which I think you can still see my messages, it pops up, and I want it to have like, tell me like you receive a new text, because I clear all my messages. So if it pops up and says 1 or whatever, or the number changes, I know I'm done. And it texts me and says, Claude is done. So every time one of the prompts or whatever are done, it texts me. So now I'm re-leveraging it because I learned something in another way. I'm like, oh, it can connect. Then I learned what it can and can't do. It can also, like, it can validate phone numbers. So if I'm an agent, you got to think about things that you do in your day-to-day. What could you automate? You could connect it to your Instagram. You could connect it to your posting, right? You can code it to do things that a software can't. So you're like, man, I wish a software could do this. You could just make it. There is no software where it can send an automated text message from your cell phone while you're mobile that's actually linked to your cell that isn't SendBlue. There is no way to do that. You got to go buy something like SendBlue or GoBlue or whatever all these other things are. So you got to think in your mind, like that's how it works, right? That's the first thing. Before we even get into tactical strategies, okay? Features that I use. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I like ChatGPT's chat better than Claude's. I'll be honest. I'll be just super honest. Some people could say I'm wrong. I just like the way that it responds. I also have all my data in there. So I use Claude for Claude Code and Cowork. Also, what I think is dope about Claude is you can set it up to where you can just have it take over your screen and just do stuff in the background while you're working. I think that's fire. You know what I mean? Like you can just have it run a bunch of stuff. Like it just runs stuff all day. Right? Now, on the other end, for GBT, the way that I use it more for its chat functionality because it has all my data for the past year and a half, and it's quicker to me, and I'm just kind of used to it. Like I treat GBT like an upgraded Google. If I'm actually trying to like solve for things, I'll go to Claude and I'll ask a sequence of questions and I'll actually like frame it. Or if I'm trying, like I think Claude also is pretty good on like script writing. I know there's different platforms like you have Manus, you have Gemini. I haven't even ventured into that. Right. Side note: this is like my first full year of actually being a business owner. So like so much fun. I wake up every day. I'm absolutely juiced, bro. Because it's like always something new to do. It's always more value to provide to the clients, more testimonials, more success stories. It's just like every day we're just growing and not like rapidly because we basically grow and then go down and grow. It's like a stock chart and then we'll go down, 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 then we'll come up, then we'll go even. You know what I mean? It's not like every month is growth, but it's okay because I feel like we're building something special here. So what we've been able to establish is that like GBT is better for me for initial quick conversations like a Google. I treat it like Google. And that's another thing. I was treating AI like Google. I wasn't really using all the functionalities. Like I knew it could do things, like obviously create documents, PDF files, script up emails really quickly. But then like now it's like, oh, I'm realizing a lot of this stuff that I want to do, I could just do it through like Claude. Like it would just do it. And it's so bad that yesterday I even went in and tried to create like a script PDF file and like have it formatted. And I couldn't even really do it until I enabled some settings. And then when it did it, it just didn't do it the way I wanted to. And I'm like, yeah, I just like the code because I'm able to tell it what I want. It's already kind of primed. And I create these little AI agents. That's how I've been doing it. Now, I don't know, like I said, the capability of the AI agents if I'm even doing it right, but it works for me, for my business. So I know it will work for an agent because we do the same things every day. All right. So that's one thing. All right. Now, another thing. Okay. These are the features I use. Now, this is the best use case that I can see for agents in 2026. Okay. Number one, CRM. Everybody wants to buy like a Go High Level, all this other stuff. It's like, bro, all you need is Twilio, which is integrated software. And then you need you just need to create the interface and the features that you want. It will do all the other stuff. You don't really need to use Go High Level anymore. I'll be honest. If you code this properly, you don't actually need Go High Level at all. So it's like it can build you a CRM. Okay. Second thing, easy to understand websites, landing pages. That's super easy, right? But actually create them for you. Integrate them onto your platform. If you use something like now, if you have Go High Level, Go to all these other things, it makes everything way easier, right? Obviously, you're gonna need Twilio, etc. But you can add so many components to it. One thing that I would use within the CRM is I would be using the Mac features integrated. Okay, so like you can send SMS on new leads directly from phone, so you're gonna have a higher contact rate. You can literally automate an entire workflow from your phone. So now it's like those same you could literally make it from your phone instead of using SendBlue as long as your laptop's on, or as long as you have I would buy a Mac Mini and place it, keep it always on, put my Claude on that, and just leave that thing on at all times. It's gonna drain a little bit, but like relative to the contact rate is going to be so much higher. I would also probably automate it for like it's just like automatic, like because it'll go to your phone too. So you could be mobile. A lead comes in, it comes directly to your phone. It texts the number, and then I would try to FaceTime audio or call them immediately too. So a person opts in the moment you get the lead, then it sends the automated text message from your phone, right? I would also link that to your company. So like if you were working for like Lead Lab or not Lead Lab, if you were buying leads from a company, I would then tie that AI bot to where the numbers come in. So that way you could make, if it's not click the call, you can make it click the call. You can make a click to call inside of your Google Sheet. You can make click to call inside of Discord. Discord doesn't even have a click to call feature, and I created it, coded it, right, into Discord. So now, like my team, when leads come in, they can just call them immediately, right? So there's all these little inherent features that you could be adding with Mac. So with your Mac computer, okay? Websites and landing pages are pretty straightforward. As an insurance agent, you don't really need it all like that. But a lot of functionality, in my opinion, is going to come from the phone. All right. The other thing that I would do, and this is major, is I would honestly hate to say it, but I would be setting up my own marketing setup. All right. literally you could have it, you could code it to run ads, shut off ads, right? What you really could do is leverage chat features to create copy, headlines, and landing pages, right? Integrate pixels, images. Now I think I can edit videos and create AI videos. You could literally have it do that. And then from there, you could literally have it make daily adjustments to ads, right? So what you could do is you could go to the normal chat and be like, hey, I want to run my own ads. I want to build my own blah, 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 blah. It'll give you that rundown. You can take all that information, feed into Claude Code and say, build me an AI agent that's going to be running ads. This is how I want it set up. Here's what I need to know. Give me a game plan. You could make all that in the chat, take that, whatever pieces you need over, have it prompt you. Hey, give me a prompt that I'm going to feed into Claude Code that's going to then tell me how to set this up and what agents I need to build. Build an agent for creative, build an agent for this. I would just be building agents. You could have like 4 or 5 of them. So you have a creative agent, you have a video editor agent, you have a copy agent, and then you have a actual like ads agent. So you have all those running, and then I guess you need like a funnel designer. So you have about 5 agents. Each of them all can work together. Cause like I have 2 agents working together right now on like in creating our own phone verification. So it's like you have multiple agents working together, right? And then all you have to do is once you verify whether or not what those agents are doing on the day to day, you have them work together cohesively. And once again, I'm giving you this game plan. All you have to do is ask Claude in the chat. That's where the chat feature comes in. You communicate with it on what you need. It's going to give you responses. Then you take those responses, you tell them, based off this response, create for me a prompt for this agent. Then you say, based off these responses, create for me a prompt, this agent. Based off the responses, create for me a prompt, this agent. And then you take that and you put that into a prompt, and then it creates the prompt, and then you go into the agent. Or if you're like me and you know the end outcome, I'm realizing that Claude Code is more outcome focused. And then they give you the steps. And you ask it, give me the steps, or see if I'm missing anything, or what can be clear. You always end these prompts with questions so it can make itself better. And then you put it in there, and then it's going to answer itself. And then you go, and then you keep moving pieces in the right direction, right? That's essentially how you create an AI team. But that's how people should be using this, right? Obviously, tracking your numbers, that's easy. All right, so like KPI tracking, that can be tied in with the CRM. But if you don't like that, and you could do it in Google Sheets just to make it simple, right? You could do that. But these are like the most simple use cases that I would have. I'd integrate it into my Instagram, right? My IG for posting and finding new people in the niche, the DM, right? So it's just like there's so many little subtle things that you could be doing that's really, 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 really easy and automated. Like really, really, really easy. And then all you have to do is establish it properly. That's it. You just have to establish it properly. And once you do that, you'll be off to the races. Like I'm literally sitting here, I just thought about something that I'm going to add to my teams. Let me pause this again. So yeah, I just want to get on here and give you guys some high level thoughts about where I'm at, what I'm doing, and why I see this as useful and what maybe you all could use. You might not be able to use it too. I don't know, but hopefully this helps. Yeah, I think Claude Code in general is going to absolutely change the game for anybody that wants it to. So I hope this video was helpful. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you are interested in grabbing some leads, go to leadlabcrm.com. If you're interested in potentially working with us and have questions, go to agentleadlab.com. We'd love to answer them. We'd love to help you scale. Love to help you grow. Until next time, bless.